They must hate our country because there's no other reason that they can be doing the things they do. Take a look. The taxes, they want to raise your taxes times 4. They want to let the Trump tax cuts, the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, they want them to expire. Your taxes are going to go through the roof. You take a look at regulations. They're throwing regulations. You can't breathe. You can't even breathe with what they're doing.
That was former President Donald Trump blasting the Democrat Party over the economic pinch of Bidenomics on average American families. A new Fox News voter analysis showing that just 13% of New Hampshire Republican voters feel they're getting ahead financially as credit card debt is piling up, also taking longer to pay down. So look at that. 60% are saying right now that they're treading water. Larry Kudlow is here. Yeah. Larry, your reaction?
Yeah, it's a good clip and a good chart. It just shows you how the economy is a tremendous issue. And as you say, people are treading water. Many are losing ground. Even though inflation has cooled down, the reality is price increases are outstripping wages over the past 3 years. This is the Achilles heel of the Biden economy. It's an affordability problem. It's an affordability problem. In round numbers, I think prices are up 17%. Wages are only up 14 or 15%. Yeah. So that hasn't changed. The other thing that's so interesting to me about these New Hampshire results from the voter analysis is the biggest issue is the border. Yeah. And by the by, in New Hampshire, it's the northern border as well as the southern border. And they're worried that terrorists might come through. It's a porous border up north. And that's an issue. That's Trump's bread and butter issue. And I thought he did great last night. 54%. He's plus 11 or plus 12 in a two-way race. Half the people who voted were Democrats or Democrat-leaning independents. So he's in very strong position.
Yeah, you take us behind the scenes last night because he won double digits, it looks like. Yeah. But a very different tone than Iowa. Yeah. The way I described it last night is elbows were sharpening last night, and there's going to be a fight. Whether that's good for the party or not, it looks like there's really going to be a fight over the next 30 days.
He wants to unify the party. In fact, he wants to really unify the country around successful policies. That was his theme. Last night, you didn't hear too much of that. He was very annoyed. Nikki Haley, very annoyed. I mean, she rushes up to the mic ahead of time, and it's like she wins. Well, she didn't win, all right? She lost by double digits. It was the same in Iowa. You think she's winning, but she finished third. So, and then she attacked Trump on his business of age and mental competence. Those are cheap shots, and I think he was right to be angry at that, okay? You got to fight back. He is a great fighter, as everybody knows. I know it firsthand. This mental competence stuff, what a terrible narrative she has. That's just all she's got. It's not issues, mental competence, really. I'd like to talk about her mental competence.
Well, when you think about immigration and economy being at the top of the list,
those are his issues.
The mental competence issue isn't there, so stick to the things that people are saying they care about.
And I want to talk about one of those issues. I think people remember of 2016 to 2020, the 3% GDP growth, right? The money back in people's pockets. The only sort of caveat to that, Larry, and I want to get your take on this, is UBS is coming out and not warning against the Trump presidency by any means, but just saying that the economy this time around is in a much later cycle. Fiscal room, very likely the bond market's patience is exhausted. Earnings expectations are higher. Risk premia is tighter. So they're saying that maybe you don't get that big reflationary reaction this time around the way we got in 2016. Do you see that as a risk, or you just vote 3% GDP no matter what?
I don't know. I mean, UBS, I don't know anything about that stuff. Look, the clip you played, besides closing the border, he will cut taxes and he will roll back every single new Biden regulation. Yeah. Okay. The estimates about Biden, $2 trillion of new regulations. Most of it is around climate change and the war against fossil fuels. Trump, liquid gold, low taxes, low regulations. That is a prescription for solid economic growth, solid rise in the stock market. I mean, market reaction, it's early. I mean, you can't overplay that. I know we all I know you're very sharp on these things, but it's still a little early for that. There is an economic business cycle. I get that. He said last week, he said, if there's going to be a recession, I hope it comes now because I don't want to have to inherit it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, though, very quickly? Let's just assume Nikki Haley drops out, right? Ronna McDaniel has said that she should.
In a month, she's going to look. She, I guess, is determined to lose in South Carolina. Okay,
Right.
It's silly, but she will lose badly, and then she'll drop out because her money will dry up. I think it's very bad judgment on her part. I think this negative personal attacks on Trump, very bad judgment, will ruin her political career.
In the last minute we have with you, the polls show that if it was a head-to-head match right now, Trump would win. Biden versus Trump. Trump would win by 2 percentage points.
Yeah.
That, to me, is just, it's a little scary. I know the polls can be wrong. Maybe the margin is wider. Maybe it's not. Things happen during elections also, as we know, that can make them really tight. And so how does he widen that margin?
I think that it's a close race. It's going to be a tough race, okay? I acknowledge that. He will win on the issues. That is my view. That is the advice that I give him personally. I speak to him pretty much every week. He has run an issues campaign. I mean, you did it again. Your clip was fabulous. I'm going to borrow that clip for our show later tonight. Taxes and regulations.
Yeah.
He wants to keep the dollar as the world's reserve currency. He's very keen on that. Closing the border.
Right.
Backing the cops, law and order, and having a much better foreign policy, an America First foreign policy. So, Jackie, I think Mr. Biden has a problem with Bidenomics. He has a big problem with the border, which is completely open, and we have 8 million people. And there's a great column today from Betsy McCoy. The illegals can come in, they can get on airplanes,
But the
any damn
airplane,
thing.
it's
That you don't even
crazy.
need ID. I think, again, Trump will keep hammering away on those issues.
Yep.
They wouldn't let me on a flight because my exact name didn't match, exactly the way it should. You're going to let somebody in the country illegally get on an airplane without an ID? Like, what is going on
Well,
here?
you have to tell me what your schedule is. I'll get you. You'll come with me on private planes.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Private planes are the best way to do it, Jackie Daniels. And we would be honored to have
You're
you come.
amazing.
Larry Kudlow on the issues, and we have
Yes.
no issue with him.
It's issues, it's policy,
Yes.
it's track
Yes,
record.
that's correct.
Larry, we got to leave it there.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, my
We'll
pleasure.
see you.
All right.